Bernard Quintana, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Out of all your favorite bands, old and new, who would you want to see tour together? Great question, and I'm glad you asked that because I just answered that question recently on Facebook, so I have a quick answer in my head. My dream tour, like a metal tour that actually makes sense, that could actually happen, would be In Flames and Soilwork co-headlining, supported by Scar Cemetery and Mercenary. It's totally possible. They all go together. That'd be a killer tour. I mean, you could have like a big four metal tour with like In Flames, Soilwork, At the Gates, Dark Tranquillity, or I'm thinking like Devin Townsend and like Tenacious D at the same show, and like they work together and collaborate and they make like music together for the show. I think they come up with some cool stuff. I mean, you get Devin Townsend's got Ziltoid, and he's just an overall like goofy guy. He works with like goofy imagery, and then you have the Tenacious D guys that are obviously goofy and they work with goofy imagery. I mean, I don't think anybody would hate it. Nobody would complain about that. Christopher Hand asks, "Hey Ryan, apologies if this has been asked before. Was there one particular instance where you knew you wanted to become a singer, or was it a hobby first and a passion second?" I don't know, that's a good question. I don't know if there was like a particular instance where I knew I wanted to like become a singer. Like, I don't think that's even happened yet. I don't think I've even reached the point yet where I feel like I want to become a singer. Like, it still feels like a hobby to me. Like, I feel like just recently is when I've finally started thinking about, like, what am I doing for the rest of my life? Like, am I going to work shitty jobs like I have been for the last 10 years? Or am I actually going to use these skills that I developed with my hobby that I've been doing over the last 10 years as well? I mean, I've developed skills that I can put to use and help other people and, just get better and get more experience. And if I can find a way to make money doing that, that's why I started my vocal studio with my new website, rsvocalstudio.com. Where I do different services now that I can provide other people with things that I've learned over the years, and so it's become, it's always been a passion, but it's also always been a secondary hobby. Like recently now, it's just become like, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do with the rest of my life, and I don't want to work jobs I don't care about, so I don't know. One particular instance, there was a lot of different instances lately, just a lot of things that I've been watching, listening to recently, and just a lot of things kind of came together at the right time to kind of change my mindset and influence me to think that way. So, yeah. David Harbour asks, if you could go back to when you started out with singing and YouTube, what advice would you give yourself? Oh my God. Well, the advice I would give myself wouldn't be about singing, I'll tell you that. I have a lot of advice for my former self. But if we want to stick with music, that's a good question. What advice would I give myself? I don't know, because I think the best advice that I could give myself then is advice that I still need to give myself now. But it was a lot worse back then. So what I would tell myself is just enjoy it more. Stop thinking about it so hard. Stop focusing on numbers and stats and subscribers and likes and comments and all that stuff. And stop letting comments get to you. Stop looking for the feedback. Stop letting the feedback influence how you feel about yourself. Just do what you like doing, and if you're happy with it, it'll show, and people that like it will follow it. It's good advice, right? I need to listen to it more. How has losing your original YouTube channel affected you, and how did you feel at the time? Oh boy, at the time I was really depressed about it. I was kind of pissed, but I was like really down because at that moment I was going through some other stuff personally, and that was like, it's always been the thing that gave me confidence, that I have this thing that I do that people care about. So that gave me personal confidence, that, personal self-worth. And it's a channel that I had been building for 10 years. I had 37,000 subscribers on it, and over like 3-4 million, I don't know how many millions of views it had, but anyway, and for it just to disappear, and there's nothing I could do about it. I was like, everything that I've done that meant anything to me in the last 10 years that is involved in this thing, it was on that page. Like, thankfully I had kept a lot of the videos and the recordings and everything, but a lot of those things got lost. And then to try to gain that momentum back up and start up a whole new channel and get the same people back, it's just never really happened. Like, it's I don't know. How it's affected me. I mean, there's been positives and negatives. I mean, I think the positives about it are that a lot of the subscribers you get over time with a channel like that, there are people that maybe they liked 1 or 2 videos that you did, and they came across you by random and they subscribe, and then maybe they never check you out again. So when you lose your channel like that and you have to start a new one, the people that really are your fans and the people that really follow you are the people that are going to go to that new channel immediately. So, I had 37,000 subscribers on the old channel, and then when I started the new channel, it took me forever to even get a few hundred, which shows me how big the fan base actually is, and kind of brought me back down to earth a little bit and realized that, I got a long way to go. Camille Palega, I'm sorry again, I don't know. There's nothing I can do. Hi Ryan, I wanted to ask if you have any recordings of your voice before or at the start of your journey with singing. I would love to see how much progress you've gone through. So, I have a couple of really old recordings, and I think I've shared them before. I don't know if I still have them, but really anything, like any official covers that I released when I first started in 2009, anything from 2009, 2010 that I recorded is pretty much gone now, I think. There are some of my old videos on other people's channels that I collaborated with, but I don't really share those because I'm kind of embarrassed by them, honestly. I mean, yeah, they're good to show progression, but, they're cringy as hell. Like, even my new videos are cringy. Like, just imagine how bad they were when I was 10 years younger. Yeah, so some of that stuff does exist, but we're just going to keep it where it is right now. I mean, if you really want to go digging on YouTube, you can find some stuff on other people's channels that I did, but that's up to you. I'm not going to give it to you because I don't want you to find it. Okay, so Mr. Lopez here, Mr. Nando Lopez, has about 4 questions here, so we're going to go through these one by one. So he says, in the last Q&A, which I believe was in 2018, I asked you about your life expectations with music, if you wanted to make a living out of it, or it was just a hobby. I feel like things changed a little bit. They have. Is the answer still the same, or now you're considering work mainly with that? Yes, the answer is, well, it's kind of changed. I mean, that's kind of what I was just talking about. My goal that I always said before was that I just wanted to have as much music out there with my voice as possible. Just because I enjoy music. I enjoy listening to it, and I have certain emotions that I emotionally connect with music, and I like music that makes me feel good, makes me feel happy. And if I can sing and I can also make music that gives people those feelings as well, I would like to be able to do that. It makes me feel good to be able to provide something that people can enjoy. But I don't really have expectations. I try not to set expectations, and I try not to have too many desires or goals, and I try to just kind of evaluate my situation every once in a while and just kind of see how I feel about it, what I want to do. Like, I don't like planning too far ahead because I'm just all over the place. I make plans and I come up with these ideas with these things that I want to do, and then a week later I've completely changed my mind. So I don't know. I guess my expectations have kind of changed a little bit because I'm focused less on what I can just do for myself. as far as like making music and getting music out there and like getting popular. And I feel like I just want to like give back more and use the skills that I've developed to help other people and get other people started, because I didn't have a lot of help when I started out. I'd learned everything myself. So if I can do something to help people, just get a kickstart, get started, that would be pretty fulfilling for me. Yeah. Second question, how did you meet the guys from C4TM, and who/how are they? Personality and stuff. Well, these guys are like the greatest guys to work with. I mean, we get along so well. We never had a disagreement. Everything's been smooth. They're just silly guys. Like when we get on video chats and stuff, or even in our regular like Facebook chats, they're just silly. We just joke around back and forth and stuff, and pick on each other, and we have little nicknames for each other and stuff. And but that's actually how they suck me in, right? Because I get messages all the time. I'm getting messages for years from bands asking me to work with them. But these guys, so Martin, the drummer, and then the other Martin, who plays guitar in the band and writes a lot of the songs, they sent me a video of them like with a video message asking me to work with them and like explaining it. But they were like goofy, and they were like playing with little ducks and stuff and stuffed animals and joking around and drinking and like doing making faces and voices. It was just silly, they were just goofy guys, and it sucked me in because I'm like, these guys are fun. And that's really what the project has been since the beginning. It's just been fun. Like, there's been no limitations on what I can do. There's not been like a specific subject matter that I had to follow. Like, I can just pretty much do whatever I want, and they trust me with it, and then when I send them what I do, they're just ecstatic. They love it. And we've had very few disagreements, and anything that they've ever asked me to change that they didn't like, it always turned out better in the end. So I mean, we just work really well together. We just it just clicks. Yeah. So I mean, I met them on Facebook. They sent me a video message, and they're all a bunch of Austrian dudes just eating sausage over there. I guess that's what they do, right? Question number 3 from Mr. Lopez. I know you're really into melodic death metal, but I always asked myself, what's your thoughts on gent, prog gent, like Veil of Maya, Periphery, since C4TM sounds a lot like those styles? Now I'm surprised to hear you say that, because so C4TM, my band's Chaos from the Masses, we might sound like that. I don't know. I never really thought about it, because I don't really know what style we are, because we kind of vary so much, and to me we just sound like us, because I hear these songs like from infancy all the way up until adulthood. So that's interesting though, because I don't know what to classify our music as, so it's pretty cool that you consider it prog gent. It's pretty cool. I don't listen to a lot of gent. I respect it. I respect their musicianship, and there's a lot of very talented and very funny characters in I don't know why I said that. I don't know, just like gent, it's just a style that I don't really get into that much. I mean, there's a few gent bands that stand out to me. Let's see, I haven't really listened to Veil of Maya that much. Their new song they put out, I really enjoyed it, which surprised me because I haven't liked much of their newer stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just not really my thing. Okay, last question from Mr. Lopez. If you could join any band, what would it be and why? Ooh, that's a good question. If I could join any band, what would it be and why? I don't know, because I don't want to answer this question selfishly. I don't want to answer it in a way where I'm just intruding into this great band and ruining it. Like, I want to join a band that I can actually contribute to. Man, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like the only bands that I might have a chance of like fitting into, if something were to happen to their singer, like let's say for some reason something happened to Bjorn from Soilwork. I think Soilwork would end, because to me Soilwork, like Bjorn is Soilwork. Like, he's the one that makes it sound like Soilwork. But if something happened to him and the rest of the band decided they wanted to continue on, sure, I'd audition for that. Why not? In Flames, if Anders decided that he just couldn't do it anymore, sure, I'd audition for that. That sounds like fun. Camelot. Camelot's fun to sing. I don't know if I can keep up with all of their songs live, but I mean, they have such amazing live shows. It would be fun. But, you know, I have so much respect for those guys that I don't even think about that stuff, you know, like, I'm happy with my bands, you know, and I don't really want to take over anybody else. I want to do new stuff. All right. Julius? Booker? Man, you guys, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Julius Booker? Hi, Ryan. Do you use fry or false chord screams? I'd guess you use fry the most time, but do you maybe have a trick for becoming more perennial doing false chords? I don't know what perennial means, I'm sorry. Besides just practicing it and getting used to it and using the diaphragm. I mean, besides practicing, getting used to it and using the diaphragm, I mean, those are like the three things you need. A trick, you know, first of all, like fry and false chord, I don't know. I don't know the difference between the two, honestly. Like, I thought I did. I think I do. But I never hear anybody use those terms in a way that correlates with the way that I use them. And I never understand, like, they never match up. Like, everybody seems to have a different definition for what those two words mean. And so, I don't know. I do two different styles of screaming that I mix up together depending on what kind of sound I'm going for. And that's all I can say. I don't know what I do. Sorry. Peter Ogle? Or Ogle? Ogle? No question. Oh, just wanted to say you're one of the best vocalists out there. Well, thank you. That's very sweet. Appreciate that. Larry Hetfield. Hey, Larry. If you believe in God, do you believe that God... so if you believe in God, do you believe God to be omnipotent? And if yes, do you think this God could create a stone so heavy it could not lift it? Obviously, if this God could not, then it would not be omnipotent, and if it could lift it also would not be omnipotent. See the paradox? Yes, that is a common paradox. I see the paradox. It makes perfect sense. And no, I don't believe in a God. I used to. I grew up Christian. I used to believe in God. I did for a long time, until just a few years ago when, I don't know, things changed. Life changed. I started thinking about things differently. I started learning about science, and, you know, because I grew up Christian, and I grew up not only Christian, but I grew up homeschooled with a Christian curriculum. So I had no escape from that line of thinking. So I was taught in school that God created the earth 8,000 years ago, evolution is a lie, you know, Adam and Eve existed. And so my education was based around that. I had no idea what was out in the universe. I had no idea what we knew. I had no idea how old it was, how big it was, what everything was made out of. I had no idea what particles were, what waves were. I had no idea what light was. Like, I'm obsessed with this stuff now. For just like the last 2 years, all I watch is science videos about human consciousness and how to live life and how to get the most out of living and, you know, how to find meaning in a meaningless existence. It's fun stuff, though. And, yeah, but I don't believe in any God, one specific God anyway. I mean, I'm science-based, but it's fun to entertain ideas. I admit that there's a possibility there could be a God. There could also be a billion gods. There could be a trillion gods. We could be in a simulation that's run by people that, you know, one nerd that we think is a god, but he's in his bedroom in another dimension. There could, I mean, Allah could be God for all I know, but I mean, I doubt it. But if there is a God, the chances of him being the Christian God from the Bible just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go too deep into it right now, but, you know, because it's a fucking YouTube video. I'm not going to fight people, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, once you get out of it, once you start learning about science and you learn how people that are involved in science, how they think and how they come to these answers and these conclusions, and what's known and what's not known, and how much we don't know, you can't just go back from that and just decide, you know what, forget that, I'm just going to be a Christian again. Like, you can't, like, once you decide for yourself that you don't believe in God anymore, that you don't believe in any gods, and that, you know, you just can't go back. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. Tom Rodwell. Good for you, sir, that you rod well. Ever been disappointed with a live gig? Or have a favorite gig? Ooh. Disappointed with a live gig, yes. So I saw Devin Townsend in 2017. And Devin Townsend himself was not disappointing. Devin was amazing, as always. Devin is an incredible musician, one of my favorites. But he played at a little venue called Studio 7 in Seattle. And whoever mixed the sound, I don't know if they still are this way now. I haven't been there in a long time. But in 2017, when I was watching Devin play, whoever was running the sound that day, I had no idea what they were doing. I forget the band that opened up. I thought it was like Monuments. I'm trying to say Monuments, but I think I may be completely off. But they quit like halfway through their set. They were like, get the fuck out of here, because the sound was so bad. And then when Devin came up, I could only hear him when he was talking in between songs. And as soon as the music started, it was just fuzz. Just because whoever was mixing didn't know what to do with all of those tracks that he was playing. So we had all these backing tracks and orchestra and choir, and it was just fuzz. There was like a speaker that was like above our heads, not too far away, and it was just piercing with fuzz the whole time. I couldn't hear a word he was saying. He was opening his mouth. It was so disappointing. I was bummed. And as far as a favorite gig, I don't know if I have a favorite gig yet. Like Mayhem Festival 2009 was pretty cool. I had a lot of fun there, but I don't know. I don't think I've had my favorite gig yet. I think it's something that's coming. I'm going to go to my favorite gig sometime, and then I'll tell you about it, all right? Liam Whitnell asks, would you rather have a whale-sized penis or a penis-sized whale? This is what I was afraid of. Now we're getting to the deep stuff. So, a whale-sized penis or a penis-sized whale? I feel like a whale-sized penis, like if you actually have a whale, like, now do you mean like a penis that's the size of a whale's penis, or do you mean the penis that's actually the size of the whale itself? Because either one is just too much. But if you have a whale-sized penis, it seems like an ailment. Like, it seems like a handicap. Like, it's not a good thing. I wouldn't want to have a penis that big. 'Cause what do you do with it? You can't even move. Like, you can't get in a vehicle. You have to be like loaded around by a tow truck or something, like a flatbed. And then what do you do with it? Like, it's just gonna be getting cut on stuff. It's just gonna be dragging on the ground, like hitting like dirty needles on the ground. You get like AIDS just from going to the store and dragging your dick on the ground. So I feel like but think about a penis-sized whale though. You have an aquarium in your house with a fucking like penis-sized whale, and no matter what size you consider like a penis size, if you're talking about like human penis sizes, I mean any of those would be reasonable enough to have in a tank in your house, right? I don't know. I think that'd be a lot more fun. I mean, would you rather have a cute little penis-sized whale in your house, or would you rather not be able to have a house because you have a whale-sized penis? I don't know. All right, Marcus Christopherson. Oh, before I ask this question, Marcus Christopherson, shout out to my boy. He has a YouTube channel called Harsh Vocals. That's the channel name. It's just Harsh Vocals, 2 words. He does amazing vocal covers. He does stuff that even I can't do. And I've been following him for a few years. I know he's a big fan of mine. We were supposed to do a cover together years ago, and I'm terrible, so I just never did it. But maybe we'll get around to that someday. But anyway, so Marcus Christopherson says, when was the first moment that you realized that you had potential for being a vocalist? Was it one moment that cemented that in your mind, or did you slowly realize it over time? And what was your first great achievement in your mind? Ooh. You know, there is one moment that sticks out that I consider like a great achievement. That it was like a moment that I actually thought, it was back in 2015. It was when I recorded the vocals for Recode The Subliminal's single At The End. I think it's the best song we've done. And when I first heard the final mix of that for the demo that we were going to put out, I listened to it and I was like, I'm a rock star. Like, I felt like I had done something cool, like, that this was like the first real produced recording that I've done where my voice was mixed like properly, where it sounded nice, and I was like, I'm actually pretty good. I sound like a fucking rock star. Like, this is awesome. So I think that was like the moment for me. That was like, because I'd done like Sea of Trees stuff before, but that was like really heavy stuff that was done at home, and it wasn't something I could really show family and be proud of. So yeah, I think at the end, Recode The Subliminal. Steven Olivas asks, who do you think has a more solid album discography overall, In Flames or Soilwork? Oh my god. You know what? I can't answer that question. Who has a more solid discography? I don't know, because it depends on what you mean by solid. Because I think as far as like producing quality work that has kept the fans happy from start to finish, probably Soilwork has done that better. They have changed up their style. If you listen to their newest album and listen to like Stabbing the Drama, right? Two completely different bands, except for the fact that Bjorn, you can tell it's his voice. He brings the character to the band, but I don't know, because In Flames, they've done so many different things, and I feel like every album they put out, it pisses off a different group of people. Some of the same group of people, but it also adds more people that hate them now. So they're growing their fan base, but they're also growing their hate base. So I don't know. I'm a fan of both of their discographies. I could listen to any of their albums, old and new, start to finish. I don't care. They're all good to me. But as far as like actually pleasing their fans, I think Soilwork has done a slightly better job than In Flames has. I've seen some people complain about Soilwork, but not as much as In Flames. Like, if you go to In Flames' Facebook page, it's just all trash, dude. Like, the comments are all just garbage. It's just hate. All the way down, it's just hate. Ugh. And it makes me sick. Every time, I can't even go on their page anymore because it makes me sick. So, if you want to keep your fans happy, don't take a page out of In Flames' book. But if you want to do what makes you happy, that's what they're doing. So I respect them for that. Antonis Nathaniel. How do you go from clean vocals to fry, scream, and growl so seamlessly? Well, so I need more. So I think you're asking this question because when you listen to my covers, it sounds like I'm just switching between, just going with the flow of the song. But unless you see the word live in the title of my video, it's a pre-recorded audio track. So when I do my covers, I record the audio beforehand as if I was doing it in a studio, right? Because I'm focused more on the studio side of things. I don't want to show my live performances. I want to show how I sound when I'm recorded and mixed. So I record the audio, and then when I'm doing the video, I'm just mouthing along. So it's not really trouble to switch because I'm recording all the parts separately. But if I am doing a song live, I am able to switch pretty well. I can go from like a super intense high scream to like a soft singing note pretty easily, and it's just kind of because they're all kind of the same. Singing, talking, screaming, you're using the same muscles, just in a different way. So when you find out what it feels like to do any of those three things, you can kind of blend them all together, and you start to realize it's all kind of the same thing. So, you just have to learn to control it. That's all it is. Control your breath. Pierre-Luc Chenard. I definitely did not say your last name right. I think I got Pierre-Luc right. So, proud of myself there. So he asked, what singer do you think would be a better fit for another band? Example, Howard Jones and Trivium, or something else crazy like that. Oof. So I hate questions like this. I don't know, because once again, it depends on what you mean by better. Because to me, because I'm a vocalist, the bands I listen to are mostly vocal based. So I listen to those bands because of their singer. And that's not the case, always, but especially lately I've been getting into a lot of instrumental music. But I don't know, because to me, a band's personality, like their identity, is whoever the singer is. So if you replace them with somebody else, it's not better or worse, it's different, right? So like people like to argue about Howard versus Jesse, right? But they're both different, right? I like them both. Why can't we just like them both? There's two different versions of Kill Switch, and if you don't like one, don't listen to it. you know, and whatever happens with the band is not up to you. So if you don't like it and you can't listen to them anymore, then sorry, that happens. But they made the decision that they made. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I don't know, because I don't think anybody would be a better fit for anybody's band, honestly. I think whoever sings for the band, that's the fit for the band, because they're the band. You know, if you change the singer, then it's a whole different thing, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. There are some bands that can do that. That can change their singer and change their style out completely and get away with it, but, you know, it's not easy. So, I don't know. I don't want to kick anybody out of anything. Larry Hetfield again. My boy Larry. When your kid did the Cannibal Corpse cover, he's talking about this one. Did you really think we would believe that's him? I mean, look how small his neck is. No way he can push that much air. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. So, that kid, he learned everything he knows from me. And if you're going to doubt, then you need to come back up those words, okay? You know where I live. He doesn't know where I live. No, but seriously, I still think that video is funny. Cannibal Corpse loved it too, actually. They reacted to it. But, what was I going to say? Yeah, filming that was actually pretty funny because, you know, filming a baby is like filming a pet, right? You know how when your dog will be doing something for like 10 straight minutes, and as soon as you like slowly pull out your phone, they're like, nope, and they just do whatever, and they just get in the face of the camera. It's like, fuck off, I'm trying to take a picture of you. Go back to licking your butt. So that's what babies do. Baby was sitting there just staring at you. Like, okay, this is perfect. Just keep doing this, right? And I'll just film you, and then I'll replace your mouth with my mouth, right? As soon as I start filming. Bleh, bleh. What are you doing? You weren't doing that before. So frustrating. But it was funny in the end. Honza Petrik. Sure. Is there a genre of music that you cannot stand at all? No, I don't think so, honestly. Not that I know of, anyway. I mean, I haven't heard all genres of music, but everything that I've heard, you know, there's nothing that I can't stand. I'll listen to whatever's on and find a way to enjoy it, you know. I think the only thing that I can't really get into too much that I hear often is, like, mumble rap and stuff like that. But I understand it. Like, not what they're saying, but I understand, like, the aesthetic of it. I understand the style of it, like, what they're going for. So I don't hate it. It's just not for me, you know, because I don't know. Just not my style. Patrick Gustafsson. Do you still play with Recode The Subliminal? That's a really great question. I don't even know the answer to that question. I don't even know if Recode The Subliminal is still a thing. I mean, so Devil Sullivan, the second guitarist, he writes a lot of the songs. He also does like the programming of like the orchestration and synth and keyboard and all that stuff. We're still really good friends. You know, we talk a lot, not as much as we used to, but you know, we're both just busy with stuff. You know, he's got his own thing going on now. He's doing solo albums with like orchestration and you know, composing music, like soundtrack music. Doing an amazing job at it. Like, it's, you know, he's creating better music. There's a guy revving his engine out there for no reason at all, and then he just does it all the time. Why? Anyway, yeah. So anyway, you know, last time we all talked together about making more music, the consensus was nobody's thinking about it at all. So I don't think don't expect anything anytime soon. That's all I can say. I'm really focused on Chaos for the Masses right now, and some of the other stuff I'm working on. You know, who's to say what can happen in the future? But for right now, Recode The Subliminal is just kind of hanging out there. We're doing our own thing. So that's where we are right now. Peter Ogle is back, or Ogle. Peter Ogle is back. What band? Oh, he actually has a question this time. Thank you, Peter. What band made you want to scream? What band made you want to sing? What's your warm-up like? How long have you been performing? You like movies about gladiators? I do like movies about gladiators. Well, I like one movie about gladiators. And the movie is called Gladiator. It's one of the best movies ever made. And I actually just watched it again because it was the 20th anniversary. And you know what? I cried. I cried at the end when fucking the Spaniard, fucking Maximus, when he dies. Because he gave his life to save Rome. And he's standing there. Caesar's dead, and he's just like, okay, this is what should happen. Give the power back to the people, and whatever, and make sure everything's taken care of. And you're welcome. Peace. Dead. It's like, man, I fucking cried. What else did you ask? What band made you want to scream? The Devil Wears Prada. Actually, you know what? That's not true. Because I first heard screaming and I started learning how to scream. The band AFI, more specifically the song Miss May I. That's the first time I heard screaming. That's the first time I ever tried to scream along to a song. And that's when I learned how to scream, was screaming along to AFI songs. So, yeah. And then it really started taking off with Devil Wears Prada. That's when I decided that that's something that I wanted to do, to like get better at, was listening to Mike Aranica from the Devil Wears Prada, because I realized if he can do it, I can do it, because he's kind of bad, So he was a big influence of mine. I think he's a really talented guy. I think he writes really great lyrics, really intense energy, and that's what really inspired me the most, is his like passion for it. What band made you want to sing? Camelot. I think I said that earlier. Listening to Roy Khan sing inspired me. I think that's pretty evident in the way that I sing. What's your warm-up like? It's not like anything, because I don't warm up, because I'm a piece of shit, and I don't take care of my voice. How long have you been performing? Well, if you mean performing shows and live, I don't do that. I haven't. I would love to. Hasn't really happened yet. Performing, like, doing YouTube videos, I started in February 2009. With, Brace Legs, actually. Born of a Savage Brace Legs was the first video, like vocal cover video that I put up to YouTube. Alright, Nicholas Hunt asks, are the people who signed up for Sharing Private Ryan, still going to get your music for free, or have your bands put a stop to that? So for those of you who don't remember, Sharing Private Ryan was like a fan club that I started in 2017. This is when Patreon first came out, and I was dumb and I didn't know what Patreon was, so I tried to start this like fan club where people would pay like a fee and they would join it, and they would get like certain perks, and I couldn't keep up with it. I sucked at it. I didn't know what I was doing, and then I ended up getting a Patreon. So I tried to get everybody that was on that Sharing Private Ryan page to the Patreon page, but I couldn't contact anybody. Like, people would join this club, but like when I would post things, nobody would respond. I would make announcements, nobody would pay attention to them. So I was trying to get everybody to like switch over to Patreon, and then I thought maybe that wasn't fair because they paid. So I started like a Discord group for Patreon people, and then I put all the Sharing Private Ryan people in there too. And I said, you guys should join this Discord, and then you can get all the content. And I didn't get any responses, so I don't even know like who joined it and still wants to be a part of it. But I mean, if you joined that, and like I said, that you would get all my music that I ever release for free, because it's who cares? I'll give away my music to anybody, but it feels like a pretty cool perk. You pay one fee, and then for the rest of my life and your life, you get all my music for free. Like, I'm not losing out on anything in that deal, and you get some free music. But if you feel like you want to just still be a part of that, just keep reminding me that you did that, and I'll send you whatever you want. If you want your money back for that, contact me and we'll work that out too. But or just send me a message. I'll get you on Patreon, or I'll get you included in the Discord if you still want to be a part of that. So just remind me, and I'll look you up. I should still have all the emails and all the records and everything. But yeah, that was a major failure for me, and I apologize to everybody involved. Reno Nichols, I guess? Reno Nichols? Do you ever miss the old days of Whitechapel covers and auto-tuned annotations of an Autopsy Kanye West style songs? I miss that video, and it's gone. Like, nobody has it anymore because it was on my old channel. My old channel was deleted and the video is gone. So nobody knows what you're talking about. But it was this video where I took lyrics from, I don't remember what the song name was, but it was an annotations of an Autopsy song. And I was singing it to the tune of Kanye West, the Gay Fish song. What is it? Heartless. Selling limbs from a bag was always my forte. It was so stupid, but it was so funny. I don't know. I don't know if I miss those days. I kind of do, because I think I was having more fun back then. I was just kind of doing whatever the hell I wanted. I was doing goofy videos. But as far as like the quality of what I'm doing now, I don't know, I just feel way more proud about what I'm doing now. Like, I have direction, kind of. and I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm not just like shooting out in the dark. But I mean, it might be less fun. I feel like my videos are less fun. I'm doing less like silly stuff that I used to, because I feel less silly. I'm depressed. I don't want to do silly stuff anymore. I just want to sing sad songs that people go, huh. Alright, my other camera over there ran out of room on the card, so we're switching to this camera only, so no more fancy cutaways. Sorry. That's the way this goes. I don't feel like fixing it. That's how lazy I am. Okay. Nick Larson. This is sort of vague, but for my own sake and growth, I'd like to know, how do you get people interested in your music? Oh my god. If you ever find out, please tell me. I haven't figured it out. I have no idea. I can't get people to listen to my music now. He says, covers will get you more views. I used to do guitar covers a long time ago, but I don't do them anymore. I make a wide variety of original music. Started posting to YouTube a couple months ago. Without spamming it everywhere, how do you draw attention to yourself? I honestly don't know. I don't know. Consistent content. Honestly, clickbait. Really. I mean, I used to talk shit about clickbait. I always said that I don't want to be one of those clickbait people, and I haven't been. But I'm starting to think that that's really the only way to get noticed on YouTube. It's the only way to get people to click on your videos is if you have a picture that draws their attention, and you have what's going on in the video in words in the thumbnail, and the emoticon that shows them how they're supposed to feel when they watch it, right? So you tell them if they're supposed to laugh, right? Because it's not actually funny. Or you tell them that they're supposed to cry because it's not actually sad. And I thought I didn't want to do that, but it obviously works because, you know, now I can't get anybody to watch my stuff. So, yeah. If anybody figures it out, let me know. And then I'll let Nick Larson know, because we're both in it together, brother. Good luck, though. Ivan Iannuzzi? Whatever. Do you like Dance Gavin Dance? No. Now a serious one. Okay. What would you say to someone who wants to start singing, but he doesn't know how to release his inner voice? Greets from Argentina, dude. I have been a fan of your work since I first saw you back in 2012. Wow. Half of my music tastes were developed from your top 20 CDs video. Thanks for all this years, dude. Cheers. Cheers to you, Ivan. And I see your name a lot in my comments, and I appreciate your support. And yeah, I forgot about that top 20 video I did. I think I did that in 2012 or 2013. It like almost immediately got removed because apparently having 20 seconds of somebody's song on your video costs them money and makes them lose money somehow. Go figure. So I can't put a clip of 20 seconds of somebody's song without the video being blocked. But whatever, I ain't bitter. So, advice to someone who wants to start singing but doesn't know how to release his inner voice. So, let me go back to what I was saying before about your voice, because people that are starting out singing, they think that they're supposed to develop the singing voice. They think that I can't sing because I don't know how to produce a singing voice. But your singing voice is your voice. Like, your singing voice is your talking voice. It's the same voice that you use to speak, to hum, and to sing. And the muscles that you use when you speak clearly and with resonance, like I'm doing right now, like I'm speaking with, there's vibration in my nose. I can hold out a note while I'm talking, and it becomes a hum. And that hum, that's singing. It's all the same thing. So you shouldn't separate them in your mind and think, okay, I need to find my inner voice, my inner singing voice, because you already have your inner voice. It's the voice that you speak with. You just have to learn how to use that voice now to sing with. It's the same thing, right? It's just all about learning how to control it, because you use it every day to speak, but until you learn how to use it to sing, it feels different. But once you learn how to control your voice and sing, the two kind of become the same, and that's what I would recommend, is working on your speaking voice too. Record yourself talking. How do you sound when you talk? Do you mumble? Is your voice like nasally? Is it thin? Is it airy? How does your voice sound? Because if you don't have a good understanding of how to speak in a way that's comfortable, in a way that is natural for you, then singing is going to be hard to figure out too. Singing is not going to come as naturally to you. So that's the best advice I can give to you is just find your voice that you use for anything else, and let that develop your singing. Find resonance in your speaking voice, because it's the same resonance you can use to hum and to sing. All right, I think this is the last question, and I saved it from my good buddy Dennis Dirksma, and I don't think I've ever learned how to pronounce your last name. So Dennis has been a big fan of mine, a good friend of mine as well, pretty much since like 2010, I think, maybe 2011. I'm pretty sure it was 2010 though. He's just been following me for a long time. Always been super supportive, always been there. You know, he's been on my personal Facebook page for a long time and just been, very helpful in a lot of circumstances. When I lost my channel, Dennis actually had a lot of my videos saved because, you know, he just loves me, I guess. And, I mean, who wouldn't? No, but there's a couple videos that are on my new channel right now that would not be on there if Dennis didn't have them, because I didn't have them saved. So, like, Late for the Kill, Early for the Slaughter by Soilwork. That wouldn't be on my page right now if Dennis didn't keep it. So thank Dennis for that one. I think there were a few more that he gave me, but yeah. So shout out to Dennis for always being there for me. So he says, where do you keep getting the inspiration and drive to keep on going with your music? Even during difficult times, you keep it up and get better. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. And then he says, number 2, we should go to a Black Dahlia Murder concert together one day. Not a question more, but with like, yeah, I would love that too. I mean, who knows what could happen? I may end up in Europe living there sometime. I don't know. I mean, I want to visit. I'm going to go out there for my show next year with Chaos for the Masses. That was supposed to be this year, but obviously that's not happening now. So it's going to be next April. So I don't know if you can make it out there. I don't know how close you are. I don't know where the countries are right now without looking at a map. But if you can get out there, that'd be cool. But I don't know. I may end up out in Europe more someday. Who knows? I mean, I got my whole life ahead of me. I'm free. I can do whatever the hell I want. Except I'm poor. So how do I keep inspiration? How do I keep getting inspiration and drive? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Because I don't have drive a lot of the time. I don't have motivation a lot of the time. It's a constant battle. I mean, I have depression. I have depression, so to get motivation to even get out of bed every day, it's tough. I mean, I don't go to work most of the time. I have a lot of stuff I'm supposed to be doing with music right now, and it's just hard. It's hard to find the motivation to do anything right now except just sit on the couch and smoke pot and drink coffee and look at memes all day and watch science videos and I don't know. I think the only thing that really keeps me wanting to do it is just my love for music. I mean, I get demotivated, but then I'll sit and start listening to music. I'll turn on some Kill Switch or something, and Kill Switch always gets me going. Like, I'll listen to Kill Switch and be like, yeah, I can make music. I can make metal. I should be working on this stuff. I should be doing something right now, and that kind of pumps me up a little bit. But it's hard, like to get the motivation and the drive. It's just singing it's just become like the thing I can do now. So like I've reached an age where I'm like, what can I do? And I can't do that much. I don't have that many skills. Like, I know things. I know random facts about things, and I'm just working on my personal life and trying to live comfortably. But it's like, what can I do? I guess I can sing, So I try to find enjoyment in it. It's not always a fun and enjoyable thing. I mean, there's heartache. There's a lot of heartache involved in music, especially in what I've done. I mean, I've spent years being miserable about it. So I'm just learning how to be happy doing it and find happiness in it and enjoy doing it, because it is something I can do and it's something that I want to enjoy. It's just it's not all fun and games, Yeah, but anyway, that's all the questions. So I mean, this has been great. Got to share a lot of things with you guys, and I think my video time's about to be up here. I think we ran probably about 45 minutes to an hour. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out after editing, but it's pretty good. Appreciate these questions. Appreciate your support. I know we're all going through a tough time right now. We're all dealing with things. Some of us are depressed already, going through things, and now we're stuck at home, self-isolating. Reach out to people. Reach out to me if you don't have anybody. If you don't have any friends, if you don't have any family, if you feel like you're alone, you have nobody to talk to, reach out to me. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, if you have a good friend, reach out to people. Just talk to people. That's what helps me get through it, right? I'm self-isolating. It normally wouldn't be a problem. I spend all my time at home anyway. But now that I'm like, I have no escape from it, I can't even go out to do anything except like go to Walmart. It gets tough sometimes. You know, I get sick of my own head. I get sick of my own brain talking to myself all the time, you know, so it helps to have people you can reach out to and just, you know, have a conversation with somebody. It takes the edge off, you know, so just be safe out there, be smart, ignore the politics, keep your hands clean, don't go out unless you really have to, wear a mask, you know, just be smart. Take it easy, guys. Thanks.